My dear friends, always be silent in 5 situations, and I assure you this wisdom, when applied, will unlock doors to your inner new existed. Now you might be wondering, Wayne, how can silence possibly be so powerful? Let me tell you. The power of silence is nothing short of miraculous. It is in the silence that we commune with our divine nature, that we tap into the infinite wisdom of the universe, and that manifests our deepest desires. But before we delve into these 5 crucial situations where silence is golden, let us further understand the nature of silence itself. Silence, my dear friends, is not merely the absence of sound. It is a state of being consciousness that allows us to transcend the limitations of our physical senses and connect with the infinite intelligence that permeates all of creation. In the Bible, we read, "Be still, and know that I am God." This silence is a doorway to our divine nature. It is in this silence that we can hear the still, small voice within us, the voice of our higher self. Now let us explore the first situation where silence is not just beneficial, but absolutely essential. The first situation is when you are in the present thoughts and feelings. How often do we rush to judge our thoughts, to push away uncomfortable feelings, to drown out the voice of our inner being with constant mental chatter? I say to you, when you find yourself alone with your feelings, be silent. Observe and judge out without trying to change or suppress them. For in this silence, you will begin to understand the true nature of your consciousness. You see, my dear friends, your thoughts and feelings are not who you are. They are simply experience of past your consciousness, like clouds passing through the sky. When you learn to be silent in the presence of your thoughts and feelings, you begin to identify with the observer. The unchanging awareness is all experience. The shift in identification is nothing short of revolutionary. For when you no longer identify with your fleeting thoughts and emotions, you tap into a wellspring of peace and power that is your true nature. You begin to realize that you are not at the mercy of your thoughts and feelings, but rather you are creator of your entire experience. Imagine for a moment that you are experiencing a strong emotion, perhaps anger or fear. Instead of reacting to this emotion, instead of trying to push it away or justify it, simply be silent. Observe the emotion as it arises in your consciousness. Feel its energy coursing through your body, but remain silent. As you practice this silence, you will notice something miraculous happening. The emotion begins to lose its grip on you. It may stoop, but love controls you. You have created a space between yourself and the emotion, a space of pure awareness. And in this space, you reclaim your power to choose how you will respond to the situation at hand. This, my dear friends, is the power of being silent in the presence of your own thoughts and feelings. It is the key to emotional mastery, to true self-control, and it is available to you in every moment if only you choose to be silent and observe. Now let us move on to the second situation where it is paramount. This is when you are in the presence of nature. How often do we walk through a forest, sit by the ocean, or gaze at the stars, all the while chattering away either to ourselves or to others? We miss the profound wisdom that nature has to offer us because you're making noise. I say to you, when you find yourself in nature, be silent. Allow yourself to be fully present in the moment, to absorb the beauty and wisdom that surrounds you. For nature, my dear friends, is the visible garment of God, is a living, breathing divine intelligence that created and sustains all of it. When you are silent in nature, you open yourself to receive its teachings. You begin to sense the interconnectedness of all things, the perfect harmony that exists in the natural world. You realize that you are not separate from this heart in it, but an integral part of it. Imagine standing before a majestic mountain. Instead of immediately reaching for your camera or commenting on its size, simply be silent. Feel the solidity of the earth beneath your feet. Breathe in the crisp mountain air. Allow your gaze to take in every detail of the mountain's form. As you maintain this silence, you may begin to sense a shift in your consciousness. The boundaries between you and the mountain begin to blur. You start to feel a true connection with the honest mountain and indeed with all of nature. This, my dear friends, is not mere poetic fancy. It is a glimpse of the true nature of reality, a reality in which all things are interconnected, all things are one. This experience of oneness with nature has profound implications for your life. When you truly understand you are one with nature, you naturally begin to live in harmony with the natural world. You make choices that honor and respect the earth, not out of a sense of obligation, but out of an understanding of your interdependence with all of life. Moreover, this sense of oneness extends beyond nature to encompass all of existence. You begin to see that the same divine intelligence that creates and sustains the natural world is also at work in your life. In every aspect of your experience, this realizes you with a deep sense of trust in the unfolding of your life, a trust that is born of silence and observation. Now let us explore the third situation where silence is crucial. This is when you are in the presence of others, particularly when they are speaking. How often we have to listen to others, our minds already formulating our response before they have finished speaking. How often do we interrupt, eager to share our own thoughts and experiences? I say to you, when others are speaking, be silent, not just externally, but in turn and need to respond, to agree or disagree, to share your own story. Instead, give the gift of your full attention, your complete presence. This silence in the presence of others is a powerful act of love and respect. It creates a space in which true communication can occur, a silence you can truly understand the other person. And in this understanding, you may find that your own perspective shifts and expands in ways you never anticipated. Imagine you are having a conversation with a friend with a difficult experience. Instead of immediately jumping in with advice or sharing a similar experience of your own, simply be silent. Listen not just to their words, but to the emotions behind the words. Listen to their body language, the tone of their voice. As you maintain the silence, you may find you begin to sense things that are not being explicitly stated. You may pick up on underlying fears or unspoken hopes. You may begin to understand the other person in a deeper way than ever before. This deep listening, born silence, has the power to transform your relationships and allow others on a soul level to truly see and understand them. And in this understanding, you create a space for healing, for growth, for true intimacy. Moreover, this practice of silent listening can lead to profound insight yourself. You often hear aspects of yourself reflected back to you. You may recognize your own fears, your own hopes, your own struggles in the words of others. Through this recognition, you gain a deeper understanding of yourself and of the human as a whole. Now let us turn our attention to the fourth situation where silence is essential. This is when you are faced with a decision or a problem to solve. How often do we rush to make decisions, to find quick solutions to our problems? We consult others. We weigh pros and cons. We analyze actions half their place. They often overshadow the most powerful tool we have at our disposal. I say to you, when faced with a decision or a problem, be silent. Instead of immediately springing into action, take a moment to be still. For in this stillness self to receive guidance from your higher self, from the infinite intelligence that is your true nature. You see, my dear friends, every problem contains within it its own solution. Every decision has within it the knowledge of the right choice. But we can only access this inner wisdom when we quiet our minds and listen to the still, small voice within. Imagine you are faced with a difficult decision, perhaps a choice between two career paths. Instead of immediately making lists of pros and cons or seeking advice from others, take a moment to be silent others. Take a deep breath. Allow your mind to become still. In this silence, bring your attention to the decision at hand. But instead of trying to figure it out with your rational mind, simply hold the question in your awareness. Feel the energy of each option. Notice any sensations in your body, few intuings or intuitions that arise. As you maintain this silence, you may find that clarity begins to emerge. You may receive a sudden insight, a clear knowing of the right path, or you may simply feel a sense of peace and trust, knowing that the right decision will reveal itself in perfect timing. This practice of silent decision making aligns you with the wisdom of your higher self. It allows you to tap into a level of knowing that goes beyond logical analysis, and while it may not always provide an immediate answer, it creates the space for the right truth to emerge naturally and effortlessly. Moreover, this practice of silence in the face of decisions and problems cultivates a deep trust in life itself. You begin to understand that you don't rely on your own. There is a higher intelligence at work in your life, guiding you towards your highest good. Now, let us explore the fifth and final situation where silence is paramount. This is when you are engaged in your spiritual practice, whether that be prayer, meditation, or practice. How often do we approach our spiritual practice with a mindful of requests, with a constant stream of words and thoughts? I say to you, your spiritual practice, be silent, for it is in this silence that true communion with your divine nature occurs. It is you experience the reality of your oneness with God. You see, my dear friends, prayer is not about asking God for things. True prayer is a state of being, a state of alignment with your divine nature. And this alignment occurs not through words, but through silence, and you're sitting in meditation. Instead of reciting mantras or visualizing outcomes, simply be silent. Allow your attention to rest in the awareness of your own being. Feel the presence of the I Am within you. As you maintain this silence, you may begin to sense a shift in your consciousness. The boundaries of your individual self begin to dissolve. You may experience a vast spaciousness, a limitless awareness that is your true nature. In this silence, you realize that you are not separate from God, that you never could be. You understand the I am present with you, then you as God Himself expressing His you. This realization, my dear friends, is the essence of all spiritual teachings, the truth that sets you free. This silent communion with your divine nature has profound implications for your life. For when you truly know yourself as one with God, you naturally begin to live from this understanding. You no longer see yourself as a limited human being struggling against life, but as a divine being creating your reality in partnership with the infinite intelligence of the universe. Moreover, this practice of silence in your spiritual life cultivates a deep sense of peace and trust. You begin to understand that everything in your life is unfolding perfectly, that every experience is an opportunity for growth and expansion. You no longer feel the need to control or manipulate your circumstances, for you trust in the perfect unfolding of your divine plan. Now, my dear friends, as we have explored these 5 situations where silence is essential, you may be wondering how to cultivate this practice of silence in your daily life. For it is wondrous in the power of silence intellectually, and quite another to embody it in your moment-to-moment experience. The key, I say to you, is to make silence a habit. Just as you have cultivated habits of speech and action throughout your life, you can cultivate the habit of silence. Start small. Perhaps choose one of the 5 situations we've discussed and commit to practicing silence in that context for a week. For example, you might choose to practice silence in nature. The next time you go for a walk in the park or sit by the ocean, consciously choose to be silent. Let go of the need to comment on what you see. Simply be present, observing and experiencing nature in silence. As you practice, you may find that your mind resists the silence. Old habits of constant mental chatter may try to reassert themselves. When this happens, do not fight against it. Simply identify as they arise and gently return your attention to the sight. Remember, my dear friends, that this practice of silence is not about achieving a perfectly quiet mind. It is about cultivating awareness, about creating space between yourselves and experiences. Even a moment of true silence, of pure awareness, can be transformative. As you continue to practice, you may find that silence becomes easier, more natural. You may begin to crave these moments of silence, to seek them out in your daily life. And as silence ends a more to go part of your experience, you may notice profound changes occurring in your life. You may find that you become more centered, more grounded in your own being. You may notice that you react less to external circumstances and respond more from a place of inner wisdom. You may experience a deepening of your relationships, a greater sense of connection with others. Moreover, you may find that your manifestation abilities become more powerful. For in science, you align with the creative power of the universe. You tap into infinite potential that is your true nature. And from this place of alignment, you naturally begin to attract experiences that match your deepest desires and highest good. Now, my dear friends, I want to address a common misconception about silence. Many believe that practicing silence means withdrawing from the world, becoming passive or inactive. Nothing could be further from the truth. True silence, the silence we have been discussing, is not a retreat from life. It is a full engagement, a place of centered awareness. It is a way of being in the world that allows you to act with greater power and effectiveness. You see, when you cultivate silence in these 5 situations, in the presence of your thoughts and feelings, in nature, when others are speaking, when faced with decisions or problems, and your spiritual practice, you create a foundation of inner stillness that informs all of your actions. From this place of inner silence, you are able to act with greater clarity and purpose. You are no longer driven by reactive pattern responses. Instead, your actions arise from a deep alignment with your true nature, with a divine intelligence that is expressing itself as you. Imagine approaching your work from this place of inner silence. Instead of being caught up in stress and worry, you move through your tasks with a sense of calm focus. You are fully present in each moment, bringing your full creativity and intelligence to bear on whatever is before you. Or imagine engaging in a difficult conversation from this foundation of silence. Instead of becoming defensive or argumentative, you are able to listen deep to respond from a place of wisdom and compassion. You create space for true understanding and resolution to emerge. This, my dear friends, is the true power of silence. It is not to escape from life, but a way of living life more fully, more authentically, more in aligned with your divine nature. As we new in our exploration of silence, I want to remind you of a fundamental truth. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are not your circumstances. You are the awareness that observes all of these things. You are the silence from experiences arise in which you have a turn. When you truly understand this, when you experience this truth in the depths of your being, you are free. Free from the limitations of your conditioned mind, free from the fears and doubts that have held you back, free to create your life as you desire it to be. For in this silence, in this awareness of your true nature, you tap into the infinite creative power of the universe. You align with the divine intelligence that creates worlds. And from this alignment, anything is possible. So I say to you, my dear friend, embrace silence. Make your constant companion. Let it be the foundation from which you live your life. For in silence, you will find your true power, your true purpose, your true self. Practice silence in these 5 situations we have discussed. Be silent in the presence of your thoughts of feelings. Be silent in nature. Be silent when others are speaking. Be silent when faced with decisions or problems. And be silent in your spiritual practice. As you do so, you will begin to experience a profound transformation. You will find a deep peace that is unshakable, regardless of external circumstances. You will tap as there was beyond intellectual knowledge. You will experience a love that knows no bounds, a love that embraces all of life. And from this place of silence, of peace, of wisdom, and of love, you will naturally begin to create a life that reflects your highest vision. For you be the unbounded power of the universe, the power that is your true nature. Remember, my dear friends, that your outer world is a reflection of your inner state. As you cultivate inner silence, you will find that your outer world begins to reflect this peace, this clarity, this alignment with your divine nature. So go forth and make silence your practice. Remember to be your teacher, your guide, your constant companion. For in silence you will find all that you seek. In silence you will remember who you truly are. And always remember the word as you pushed out. As you embrace silence, as you align with your true nature, you will see this truth reflected in every aspect of your life. Your relationships will deepen. Your work will become more fulfilling. Your experiences will align more and more with your deepest desires. This is the promise of silence. This is the power that is available to you in every moment. Embrace it, love it, and watch as miracles unfold in your life.
You see, my dear friends, the world of manifestation, that is the world of physical activity, is not the primary reality. It is, in fact, secondary to the world of imagination. Your imagination is the very workshop of creation. The place where all things begin, it is the source from which all that is made flows forth into being. And it is through the power of your imagination, harnessed and directed through visualization, that you can shake your reality to match your deepest desires. Now, I know that for many of you, this may seem like a radical concept. You have been taught from childhood that the world is a fixed, unyielding place, and that your role in it is largely that of a passive observer subject to forces beyond your control. But I am here to tell you that nothing could be further from the truth. You are not a mere spectator in the grand theater of life, but it's a thought director and star performer all rolled into one. The technique I am about to share with you is not new. It is old as consciousness itself. It has been used by the great mystic sages and creators throughout history. It is the very method by which the universe itself came into being, and yet for all its power and antiquity, it remains largely unknown or misunderstood by the vast majority of people. This technique is based on a simple yet profound principle, that which you hold in your imagination with feeling and conviction must, by the very laws of creation, manifest in your physical experience. It is not a matter of if, but when the only variable is the intensity of your belief and the clarity of your vision. Let us begin by understanding the nature of imagination itself. Your imagination is not, as many believe, a frivolous faculty useful only for daydreaming or entertaining idlenesses. It is in fact the very essence of your being. It is the God power within you, the creative force that shapes worlds. When you imagine, you're literally tapping into the same power that brings galaxies into being and sustains the weak fabric of existence. But here's the crucial point. Your imagination operates unceasingly, whether you are consciously aware of it or not. Every moment of every day, you are using this God power to create your reality. The question is not whether you are using your imagination, but how you are using it. Are you using it consciously with purpose and direction, or are you allowing it to run wild, reflecting and magnifying your fears, doubts, and limiting beliefs? The technique I am about to share with you will enable you to harness this power consciously and deliberately. It will allow you to direct the full force of your creative imagination towards the realization of your desires. And make no mistake, my friends, when applied quietly and consistently, this technique never fails. It cannot fail, for it is based on the fundamental laws of creation itself. Now, let us delve into the heart of this technique. The first step is to clearly what it is you wish to be serious. This may seem obvious, but it is a step that many overlook or rush through. You must be absolutely clear about what you want. Vague wishes or general hopes will not suffice. You must be specific and detailed in your desire. Once you have clearly defined your desire, the next step is to create a scene in your imagination that implies your desire. Create a scene in your imagination that implies the fulfillment of this desire. This is where many people falter, for they focus on the process of achieving their desire rather than the end result. But I tell you this, the how is not your concern. Your task is to focus solely on the end, on the feeling of your desire fulfilled. For example, let us say your desire is for a new home. Don't visualize the process of house hunting, securing a mortgage, or movie. Instead, create a scene that implies you are already living in your new home. Perhaps you are entertaining friends in your living room or waking up in your bedroom. The specific scene doesn't matter as long as it implies the fulfillment of your desire. Now, here's where the real power of this technique comes into play. Once you have created your scene, you must enter into it fully. You must make it so real in your imagination that it takes on the tones of reality. You must see it, feel it, touch it, smell it, hear it. Use all your senses to make this imaginal scene as vivid and real as possible. But mere visualization is not enough. The key to this technique element that makes it unfailingly effective is feeling. You must feel the reality of your imagined scene. You must generate within yourself the emotions you would experience if your desire were already fulfilled. This feeling is the secret and the power of the entire operation. You see, my dear friends, in the realm of imagination, there is no distinction between what is real and what is imagined. Your subconscious mind, which is directly connected to the creative power of the universe, cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a physical. When you combine pre-visualization with genuinely or literally experiencing your desire in a realm that is more real, more fundamental than the physical world. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Wayne, I've tried visual vision before, and it didn't work. To this I say, you have not truly visualized until you have felt the reality of your imagined scene. Near mental pictures are not enough. You must feel it to be real. You must generate within yourself the conviction that what you are imagining is not a future possibility, but a present fact. This is where most people fall during their attempts at manifestation. They treat their imaginal scenes as pleasant fantasies or hopeful daydreams. But I tell you this, your imaginal acts must be as real to you as any physical experience. In fact, they must be more real, for they are the cause and physical reality is merely the ethic. Let me give you an example to illustrate this point. Suppose you desire financial abundance. Many people, when they visualize wealth, see themselves counting money or looking at a bank statement with a large balance. But these are external symbols of wealth. They do not capture the feeling of being wealthy. Instead, I want you to imagine a scene that implies the feeling of financial abundance. Perhaps you're sitting in a beautiful restaurant ordering whatever you desire without a second thought about the cost. Or maybe you're calmly writing a large check for a charitable cause dear to your heart, knowing that you have more than enough. Feel the peace, the security, the joy that comes with true financial abundance. Let these feelings permeate your entire being. When you can do this, when you can make your imaginal scene so real that it elicits genuine emotion, you are set in motion forces that must, by the very nature of creation, bring your desire to physical manifestation. For you see, my friends, the outer world is nothing more than a reflection of your inner world. What you hold to be true in your imagination with feeling must externalize itself in your experience. Now, I can sense that some of you are struggling with this concept. You're thinking, but Wayne, how can my imagination change external circumstances? How can it affect other people or events beyond my control? And to this, I say there are no external circumstances. There are no other people in the sense that you think of them. There is only consciousness, only imagination. This may seem like a radical statement, but I assure you it is the absolute truth. The entire universe, with all its seeming solidity and complexity, is nothing more than consciousness made visible. And your individual consciousness is not separate from the universal consciousness. It is one with it a focal point of the infinite creative power that underlies all of existence. When you truly grasp this truth, when you internalize it and make it the foundation of your understanding, you will see that there are no limits to what you can achieve through the power of your imagination. For in reality, you are not changing external circumstances at all. You are simply shifting your consciousness. And in doing so, you shift the entire universe. Let's delve deeper into this concept, for it is crucial to understanding the full power of the technique I am sharing with you. Most people believe that their thoughts and feelings are a reaction to external circumstances. They believe that they feel happy because something good happened, or sad because something bad occurred. But I tell you this, your thoughts and feelings are not the effect of circumstances. They are the cause of them. Your consciousness is the only reality. The world you experience is nothing more than your consciousness pushed out. Every person, every object, every circumstance in your life is a reflection of your own mental states. This is why two people can experience the same external event in completely different ways. It's not the event itself that determines their experience, but their consciousness. Now, I know this may be difficult to accept at first. It flies in the face of everything you've been taught about the nature of reality. But I urge you to test this principle for yourself. For when you begin to live from this understanding, you will experience a freedom and a power beyond anything you've ever known. Let's return to our technique of visualization. When you create a scene implying the fulfillment of your desire, and when you enter into that scene with full sensory vividness and genuine feeling, you are literally rearing the entire universe. You are shifting your consciousness, and in doing so, you are shifting the reflection that is your physical reality. This is why it's so crucial to persist in your imaginal act until it takes on the tones of reality. You must continue to return to your scene, to live in it and from it until it feels more real to you than your current physical circumstances. This is not always easy. It requires discipline and persistence. But I assure you the results are well worth the effort. Now, some of you may be wondering about the role of action in this process. You may be thinking, surely, Wayne, we must do something in the physical world to bring about our desires. And to this, I say inspired action will naturally flow from your shifting consciousness. When you have truly impressed your subconscious mind with the reality of desire fulfilled, you will find yourself naturally taking the right actions at the right time. But this is crucial. You must not force action from a place of lack or need. Any action taken from the belief that you need to make your desire happen is counterproductive. It stems from a lack of faith in the creative power of your imagination. Instead, allow action to arise naturally as a result of your new state of consciousness. Remember, the world is a shadow, a reflection of your inner world. When you change the inner, the outer must change to match you. This is not wishful thinking or magical thinking. It is the fundamental law of creation. It is how the universe itself operates. Now, let me address another question that often arises when I speak of this technique. Many people ask, how long will it take for my desire to manifest? And to this, I say, time is an illusion of the physical world. In the realm of imagination, where all creation takes place, there is no time. Your desire is fulfilled the moment you feel the reality of its fulfillment in your imagination. The time it takes for your desire to appear in your physical appearance depends on many factors, including the naturalness of the desire, the intensity of your feeling, and your ability to persist in the assumption of its fulfillment. But know this, the moment you have succeeded in feeling the reality of desire fulfilled, its manifestation in the physical world is assured. This brings us to another crucial aspect of this technique, detachment. Once you have impressed your subconscious mind with the reality of your desire fulfilled, you must release it. You must let go of anxiety or urgency about its manifestation. For anxiety and urgency stem from a lack of faith, from the belief that your desire is not yet yours. So instead, lie from the calm assurance that what you have experienced in imagination is now a fact. Go about your daily life from this new state of consciousness. This doesn't mean you forget about your desire. Rather, you live from the state of its fulfillment, regardless of what your physical senses are telling you. This detachment is not indifference. It is supreme confidence. It is the knowing that what you have claimed in your imagination is now yours in reality, and that its physical manifestation is merely a matter of time. This attitude of calm assurance is incredibly powerful. It aligns you with the creative forces of the universe and allows your desire to manifest with ease and grace. Now, I want to address a common pitfall that many fall into when practicing this technique. They visualize their desire, they feel its reality, and then they look to the physical world for signs of its manifestation. When they don't see immediate results, they become discouraged and doubt the process. But I tell you this, do not judge by appearances. The physical world, being the shadow of consciousness, often takes time to reflect the changes in your imagination. Your task is to persist in the assumption of your desire fulfilled, regardless of what your physical senses are telling you. Remember, your senses show you the world as it was, not as it is becoming. This persistence in the face of contrary evidence is what separates those who succeed with this technique from those who fail. It requires faith, not blind faith, but faith born of understanding. Faith in the creative power of your own imagination. Faith that what you have experienced is real in your imagination must, by the very laws of creation, manifest in your physical reality. Let me give you an example to illustrate this point. Suppose you are using this technique to manifest the promotion at work. You create a scene implying you have already received the promotion. Perhaps you imagine yourself sitting in your new office or receiving congratulations from your colleagues. You enter fully into this scene, making it vivid and real in your imagination. You feel the joy, the pride, the sense of accomplishment that comes with this promotion. Now, having done this, you go to work the next day. Nothing seems to have changed. Your boss doesn't mention anything about a promotion. Your colleagues treat you the same as always. This is where many people falter. They allow the evidence of their physical senses to negate their imaginal experience. But the person who understands the true power of this technique does not waver. They continue to live from the assumption that the promotion is theirs. They interact with their boss and colleagues from this new state of consciousness. They perform their work with the confidence and authority someone in a new position. They persist in this assumption regardless of appearances until the physical world reshapes itself to match their inner conviction. This, my dear friends, is the true test of your faith in this technique. Can you persist in the assumption of your desire fulfilled and all physical evidence that seems to contradict it? Can you remain loyal to your experience in the face of apparent failure or delay? If you can, then I assure you your success is guaranteed. For you see, this technique is not about forcing the world to bend to your will. It is about aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe. It is about realizing that you are one with this power. It flows that is through you and as you. When you visualize this feeling, you are not sending out a request to some external force. You are awakening to the truth of who you really are, a creative force capable of shaping reality itself. Now, let's delve even deeper into the mechanics of this technique. When you create your scene and enter into a full sensory witness, you are doing something truly remarkable. You are literally creating a new memory. Your subconscious mind, which cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a physical one, accepts this new memory as fact. This is crucial because your subconscious mind is the part of you that is directly connected to the creative power of the universe. It is the part of you that shapes your reality according to your beliefs and assumptions. By impressing a new memory upon your subconscious, you are literally reprogramming the metrics of your reality. Think about this for a moment. Every experience you've ever had, every belief you hold, every assumption you make about the nature of reality, all of these are based on memories. They are based on past experiences that have shaped your understanding of what is possible and what is not. But what if you could create new memories? Memories of experiences you desire, but have not yet had it in the physical world. This is exactly what you're doing when you use this visualization technique correctly. You are creating a new memory of your desire fulfilled, and your subconscious mind, accepting this new memory as fact, begins to reshape your reality to match it. It influences your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, and even the actions of others around you, all to bring about the manifestation of your imagined experience. This is why it's so important to make your imaginal scene as vivid and real as possible. The more real it feels, the more readily your subconscious mind will accept it as fact. And the more completely your subconscious accepts it, the more powerfully and rapidly it will work to bring it into physical manifestation. Now, some of you may be thinking, but never, what if I can't make my imaginal scene feel real? What if I struggle to generate feeling of my desire fulfilled? To this I say practice. Like any skill, the ability to make your imaginal scenes feel real improves with practice. Start with small things. Visualize yourself enjoying a favorite meal or receiving good news. Practice feeling the reality of these simple scenes until it becomes second nature. As you become more adept at this, you can move on to larger desires. But remember, the size of the desire is irrelevant to the creative power of your imagination. In the realm of imagination, there is no distinction between big and small desires. All are equally possible, equally real. Another powerful aspect of this technique is repetition. While a single intensely real imaginal can be enough to settle the fields of manifestation in motion, repeated imaginal acts can be incredibly powerful. They serve to deepen your conviction, to make your new assumption feel more and more natural. But and this is crucial, your repetitions must not stem from a sense of lack or need. You're not repeating your imaginal act because you're trying to make it happen. You're repeating it because it's enjoyable, because living from the state of your desire fulfilled is pleasurable in itself. Each repetition should deepen your feeling of naturalness, your sense that this is simply who you are and how your world is. Now, let's address another important point. Some of you may be wondering about the ethics of this technique. You may be thinking, if I can manifest anything I desire, what's to stop me from using this power selfishly or to harm others? This is a profound question, and it speaks to the very nature of consciousness and creation. First, let me say this: true harm to another is impossible in the highest sense because there is no other in reality. We are all one consciousness individualized into seemingly separate beings. What you do to another, you do to yourself. This understanding naturally leads to an ethical use of this creative power. Moreover, as you begin to use this technique and experience its results, you will find your desires as naturally to becoming more aligned with the highest good of all. For you will realize that your joy or fulfillment is not separate from the joy and fulfillment of others. You will find yourself naturally desiring and creating experiences that uplift and benefit not just yourself, but all of consciousness. This brings us to another crucial point: the importance of your state of being. The importance of your state of being you see might be a friend. What you get is not always what you think you want, but always a perfect self-reflection of your state being. This is why it's so important to focus on the feeling of your desire fulfilled rather than on the external symbols of circumstances. For example, if you think you want wealth because you believe it will make you feel secure and free, focus on the feeling of security and freedom rather than on specific amounts of money. For it's entirely possible to have great wealth and still feel insecure and constrained. Conversely, it's possible to feel deeply secure and free with modest means. By focusing on the state of being you desire, you open yourself to countless ways in which the universe can deliver that state to you. This understanding also helps to dissolve any sense of conflict or competition in your manifestations. You're not trying to get something at the expense of someone else. You're simply aligning yourself with the state of being you desire and allowing the infinite creativity of the universe to breed in a way that serves the highest good of all. Now, as we near the end of our time together, I want to touch on one final crucial point. This technique, powerful as it is not merely a tool for getting things or achieving specific goals. It is, in its deepest sense, a path to self-realization. For as you practice this technique, as you experience its results, you come to a profound realization you are the creator of your reality. This realization is nothing less than an awakening to your true nature. You begin to understand that you are not a limited physical being subject to the whims of an external world. You are consciousness itself. The very substance and source of all that is. The world you experience is your consciousness made visible. As this understanding deepens, you may find your desires changing. The things you once thought would bring you fulfillment may lose their appeal. Instead, you may find yourself drawn to experiences that expand your consciousness, that allow you to express more and more of your true divine nature. This, my dear friends, is the ultimate purpose of this technique. Yes, it can bring you the things you desire in the physical world. But more importantly, it can lead you to the realization of who you truly are. It can awaken you to your own divine nature, to the limitless creative power that is your birthright. So as you go forth from here, as you begin to apply this technique in your own life, remember this: you are not merely seeking to change your circumstances. You are embarking on a journey of self-discovery. You are uncovering the truth of your own being. And in doing so, you are fulfilling the very purpose of creation itself. This is the entire universe. With all its infinite diversity and complexity, is consciousness exploring itself, experiencing itself in endless varieties of form and expression. And you, in your individual life, are the universe doing exactly that. Your desires, your imaginal acts, your experiences, all are the universe coming to know itself through you. As you use this technique, as you create and live from the stage of your desires fulfilled, you are participating consciously in this grand adventure of creation. You are aligning yourself with the very purpose of existence. And in doing so, you open yourself to experiences of joy, fulfillment, one wonder beyond anything you may have previously imagined. So go forth, my beloved friends, and create. Use this technique with confidence and joy. Know that as you do so, you are not just changing your individual circumstances, but participating in the evolution of consciousness itself. You are fulfilling your divine purpose, expressing the infinite creative power that is your true nature. Remember, always your imagination is the God power within you. It is the creative force that shapes worlds. Use it wisely, use it lovingly, and use it often. For in doing so, you not only transform your own life, but you contribute to the transformation of all of creation. And know this as you embark on this journey. As you begin to live from the power of your imagination, you are never alone. The entire universe supports you in your creative endeavors. For your success, your joy, your fulfillment is the success, joy, and fulfillment of life itself. So visualize boldly, feel deeply, and persist faithfully. For as you do, align yourself with the very power that creates worlds. And that alignment, all things become possible. You become the conscious author of your life, the deliberate creator of your reality. This, my dear friends, is your birthright. This is your true nature. Claim it, live from it, and watch in wonder as your world transforms to match the beauty and power of your own divine imagination. Thank you, and may your journey of conscious creation be filled with joy, wonder, and the deep satisfaction of expressing your true divine nature. Remember, always you are the operant power in your world. You are the God power made manifest. Live from this truth, and all that you desire must come to pass. For such is the law of creation, and such is the power of your own wonderful human imagination.
To choose yourself is not an act of selfishness or ego, as some might believe. No, it is the recognition of your true self, the acknowledgement of the God within you. When you choose self, you are aligning with the creative force of the universe, the very essence of being that flows through all things. Consider for a moment the great masters and teachers throughout history. Did they not first choose themselves, resonant in divine nature and unique purpose, before they could offer their gifts to the world? Jesus himself proclaimed, "I am the Father of one." This was not a statement of arrogance, but a profound recognition of his true identity, an identity that each of you shares. When you choose yourself, you are declaring to the universe, "I am." You are stepping into the role of creator in your own life, assuming the state of the wish fulfilled. This, my friends, is the cornerstone of manifestation, the foundation upon which all desires are built. But what does it mean to truly choose yourself? It means to love yourself unpassionately, to honor your dreams and aspirations, to trust your intuition, and to nurture your unique gifts. It means to stand firm in your convictions, even when the world seems to stand against you. Imagine for a brilliant, a beacon of light, divine radiance. Would you cover this light with a bushel, hiding it from the world? Of course not. You would let it shine, both illuminating not only your own path, but the paths of others around you. This is what it means to choose yourself, to let your light shine without apology or hesitation. Now, some of you may be thinking, "But Wayne, I have made mistakes. I have flaws and imperfections. How can I choose myself when I feel unworthy?" To this I say, your perceived flaws and mistakes are but illusions, shadows cast by the light of your true self. They are not who you are, but experiences you have had in your journey of self-discovery. Remember, my dear friends, that the God within you is perfect, whole, and complete. When you choose yourself, you are choosing this divine perfection, this eternal and unchanging essence of your being. You are not choosing your past actions or your future potential, but the ever-present I am that exists beyond time and space. As you begin to truly choose yourself, you will notice a remarkable shift in your reality. The world around you will begin to reflect this choice, mirroring back to you the love, respect, and honor that you have given to yourself. This is the law of assumption in action, the principle that your outer world is a reflection of your inner state of being. But choosing yourself is not a one-time event, it is a continuous practice, a moment-by-moment decision to align with your highest self. Each day upon waking, affirm to yourself, "I choose myself, I honor my divine nature, I trust in the wisdom of my inner being." Let these words sink deep into your consciousness, becoming the foundation of your thoughts, emotions, and actions. As you move through your day, be mindful of the choices you make. Are they in alignment with your true self? Are they based on fear, doubt, or the expectations of others? When faced with a decision, ask yourself, what would the highest version I choose in this moment? And have the choice to make that choice, regardless of what others may think or say. Now let us turn our attention to the second part of our topic, then choose who chooses you. This, my dear friends, is equally important, the dance of manifestation and self-realization. For just as you must choose yourself, you must also be discerning in who you allow into your inner circle, who you give your energy and attention to. When you have truly chosen yourself, when you have aligned with your divine nature, let your light attract others, others who recognize and appreciate your radius. These are the people who choose you, not for what you can do for them, but for who you truly are. But here's the crucial point. You must still choose them in return. Just because someone chooses you does not mean they automatically deserve a place in your life. You must exercise your divine right of discernment, choosing to surround yourself with those who uplift, support, and inspire you on your journey of self-realization. Think of it this way: you are the custodian of a sacred temple, the temple of your own being. Would you allow just anyone to enter this temple? Of course not. You would carefully consider who is worthy of crossing that threshold, who will honor the sanctity of your inner space. This applies to all relationships in your life: romantic partners, friends, business associates, even family members. While we cannot choose our blood relations, we can choose the nature and extent of our interactions with them. Always remember you have the power to set boundaries, to decide who has access to your energy in your inner world. Now, some of you may be thinking, but isn't it selfish? Shouldn't we love everyone unconditionally? To this I say, loving someone does not mean you must give them unrestricted access to your life. You can love someone from a distance, wish them well, and still choose not to have in your inner circle. True unconditional love begins with loving yourself conditionally. From this wellspring of self-love, you can then extend love to others in a way that honors both them and yourself. It is not about exclusion, but about conscious inclusion, creating a harmonious environment that supports your growth and the growth of those around you. As you begin to choose who chooses you, you may find that some relationships in your life naturally fall away. This is not a cause for sadness or regret, but a sign that you are aligning more fully with your true self. This process, for as these connections dissolve, new ones will form, connections that are more in harmony with your elevated state of being. Remember the words of Jesus: for many are called, but few. Context of our discussion. We can interpret this to mean that while many may be drawn to your light, only those who truly resonate with your highest self should be chosen to be part of your inner circle. This process of choosing who is not about jutney or spirit, is about energetic alignment and mutual growth. The people you choose to surround yourself with should be those who inspire you to be your best self, who challenge you to grow, who support your dreams and aspirations. Imagine for a moment that you are a grand piano, finely tuned and capable of producing the most beautiful music. The people you choose to have in your life should be like skilled musicians who know how to play you, bringing out your best notes, creating they should not be those who bash at your keys discordantly or try to change your tune to suit their own preferences. As you practice choosing who chooses you, you will find that your relationships become deeper, more authentic, and more fulfilling. You will no longer waste energy connections that drain you or hold you back. Instead, you will cultivate a circle of individuals who reflect and amplify your own divine nature. But let me caution you, my friends, this process who chooses you, not about create echo chamber of yes, men and sycophants. The people you choose should also be those who are not afraid to speak their truth, to challenge you when necessary, to hold up a mirror to your blind spots. For it is through these interactions that we grow and evolve. Think of the great friendships throughout history: David and Jonathan, Ruth and Naomi, Emerson and Thoreau. These were individuals who chose each other, who recognized the divine spark in one another and nurtured it. They challenged each other to doing so. They both grew into the fullness of their potential. Now, as we delve deeper into this concept, I want you to understand that choosing who chooses you is not a one-time decision. Just as choosing yourself is an ongoing practice, so too is the discernment of you allow into your inner circle. It requires constant awareness and periodic assessment. People change, circumstances change, and you yourself are constantly evolving. A relationship that once served your highest good may no longer do so. It is your responsibility to recognize you have the courage to make the necessary adjustments. This does not mean you should discard people at the first sign of difficulty or disagreement. No, it means that you should be aware of the overall of your relationships. Do they predominantly uplift and inspire you, or do they drain and diminish you? Are they based on mutual respect and growth, or on codependency and limitation? As you engage in this practice of choosing who chooses you, you may find that some people in your life resist this change. They may be accustomed to having unrestricted access to your energy and attention, and they may push back against your newfound boundaries. This is where your commitment to choosing yourself will be tested. Remember, my dear friends, that you are not responsible for other people's reactions to your growth. Your only responsibility is to be true to yourself, to honor your divine nature, and to create an environment that supports your highest good. In these moments of resistance, return to your inner knowing. Reconnect with the God within you. Feel the certainty of your I am presence. From this place of inner alignment, you will know how to respond with love and firmness, maintaining your boundaries while still honoring the dignity of others. As you continue on this journey of choosing yourself, and then who chooses you, you'll begin to experience a remarkable transformation in your life. Your relationships will become more authentic, more supportive, more aligned with your true self. You will find yourself surrounded by individuals who inspire you, challenge you, and celebrate your growth. But more than that, you will know the shift in how you perceive yourself and your place in the world. By consistently choosing yourself, you affirm your worthiness, your divine nature, your right to exist fully and unapologetically as who you truly are. This self-affirmation becomes a powerful semantics, attracting experiences and opportunities that align with your highest vision for yourself. And by choosing who chooses you, you create a supportive ecosystem for your growth and self-realization. You surround yourself with mirrors that reflect back to you your own nature, amplifying light and inspiring you to shine even brighter. This, my dear friends, is how you create heaven on earth. For what is heaven but a state of perfect alignment with your true self, surrounded by souls who recognize and celebrate your divine nature? Now I want to address a common misconception that may arise as you embark on this journey. Some may interpret the idea of choosing yourself as a license for narcissism or self-centeredness. Nothing could be further from the truth. When you truly choose off your highest self, your divine nature, you naturally become more compassionate, more generous, more loving towards others. Why is this so? Because when you recognize the God within yourself, you cannot help but see it in others as well. You begin to understand that we are all interconnected, all expressions of the same divine consciousness. Your self expands to include all of humanity, all of creation. From this expanded sense of self, your choices become aligned with the highest good of all. You choose yourself not at the expense of others, but in a way that uplifts everyone around you. And when you choose who chooses you, you do so with the understanding that these relationships are not just for your benefit, but for the benefit of all. Consider the great leaders and visionaries throughout history. They chose themselves first. They believed in their vision, their purpose, their divine calling. Then they chose who chose them. They surrounded themselves with individuals who believed in their vision and could help bring it to fruition. In doing so, they changed the world, benefiting not just themselves, but all of humanity. You, my dear friends, have the same potential within you. You are here to make a unique contribution to the world, to express a facet of the divine that only you can express. By choosing yourself, then chooses you, you are creating the optimal conditions for this expression to manifest. As we near the conclusion of our discourse, I want to leave you with a practical exercise, a way to embody this principle in your daily life. Each morning as you wake, take a few moments to connect with inner being. Feel the presence of the God within you. Affirm to yourself, I choose myself. I honor my divine nature. I trust in the wisdom of my inner being. Then as you move through your day, be mindful of your interactions with others. Before engaging any significant exchange or make any important decision, pause for a moment and ask yourself, is this choice aligned with my highest self? Is this personal situation supporting my growth and self-realization? If the answer is yes, proceed with confidence and gratitude. Have the courage to re-rec your boundaries, to set boundaries to justify. Remember, every choice is an opportunity to align more fully with your true self and to create relationships that reflect and support this alignment. And each night before you sleep, review your day. Acknowledge the moments when you successfully chose yourself and chose who chooses you. Celebrate these victories, no matter how small they may seem. For each of these choices is a step towards the full realization of your divine nature. If you find instances where you made choices that were not aligned with your highest self, do not judge or condemn yourself. Simply acknowledge these moments with compassion, understanding that you are on a journey of growth and learning. Use these experiences as opportunities for great awareness and commit to choosing differently in the future. As you consistently practice this principle of always choose yourself, then choose who chooses you, you will begin to notice profound changes in your life. Your sense of self-worth will deepen. Your relationships will become more fulfilling. Your ability to manifest your desires will increase exponentially. You will find yourself naturally attracting opportunities and individuals that align with your highest vision for yourself. Paths that once seemed closed to open and paths that were previously hidden will reveal themselves. For when you choose yourself, you are choosing the God within you, and nothing is impossible to God. Remember, my dear friends, that you are not alone on this journey. The entire universe is aspiring to self-worth and self-realization. Every experience, every relationship, every challenge is an opportunity for you to choose yourself more fully, to align more completely with your divine nature. And as you choose who chooses you, you are creating a community of like-minded souls, a support system that will uplift and inspire you on your path. These individuals will be your cheerleaders, your collaborators, your mirrors reflecting back to you your own innate divinity and infinite potential. In closing, I want to remind you of the immense power that lies within you. You are not just a theoretical being having a spiritual experience, but a spiritual being having a physical experience. You are a unique expression of the divine with gifts and talents that only you bring to the world. By choosing yourself, you are honoring this truth. You are stepping into your power as a co-creator with the universe. And by choosing who chooses you, you are creating an environment that nurtures and supports this divine expression. So go forth, my friend, acknowledge you or of choosing yourself. You are worthy of surrounding yourself with those who recognize and celebrate your true nature. You are worthy of living a life that is a full and complete expression of the God within you. Choose yourself, then choose who chooses you. In doing so, you are not just transforming your own life, but you are contributing to the transformation of the entire world. For as you align with your highest self and surround yourself with those who do the same, you become a beacon of light, inspiring others to do the same. This is how we create heaven on earth, one choice at a time. This is how we fulfill our divine purpose and become living expressions of love, joy, and infinite possibility. This is how we honor the God within us and within all of creation. Thank you, my dear friends, for your attendance journey arc on this journey of self-discovery and self-realization. May you always choose yourself, and may you be blessed with relationships that reflect and amplify your divine nature. Go in peace, go in love, and always remember the power that resides within you, power to choose, the power to create, the power to be who you truly are. God bless you all.